What is up, folks? Good morning. Today, I've got a video for you guys. This man sent me a message on Instagram a couple days ago. His name is AJ, and he says, hey, Marshall, I recently just got into UFC as a whole, and I'm new to UFC 4. I played a bit of 3 and just got 4. I've been learning the game pretty okay, and I feel like I'm slowly improving pretty well. I was wondering if you would review my gameplay if I send one into you and maybe give me some tips on how to play better as a whole. I was versing my cousin and felt like I was blocking well, and he just kept rocking me. I don't know if it was lucky roundhouse kicks or what, but it was frustrating nonetheless. I stumbled across your YouTube, and I know you sometimes respond to fans. I respond to fans all the time, brother. He says, been binging your videos, watched all of UFC in my career, and almost every recent ranked gameplay from the last 2 months. If anyone is the best UFC 4 ranked player on YouTube, in my opinion, it's you. No, it's not, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. And besides basic stuff that I can comprehend from your videos, the technical side of things that you do is so hard for me to understand. Hopefully, you can give me some insight, maybe even 1v1 me, possibly, and tell me what I'm doing wrong. So, the plan is, I responded to him. I let him know that I was definitely going to watch the fight, the content, and we're going to review it. It's right here. And I checked it out. I saw exactly the mistakes that you were making, man. And what we're going to do is I'm going to play the whole entire video from start to finish. It's about 5 minutes long, just so people can watch it. And then when the video is done playing, we're going to go back and we're going to talk about some of the mistakes that you were making in the fight. And then I'm going to give you pointers on how to fix it. And then what I would like you to do is I want you to rematch your cousin and try to implement the tips I give you in this video. And then later on, you and I are going to hop on and we're going to train together because I really like how you hit me up. I love the message. I love the attitude. So you and I, we're going to train together. We're going to work on a few things together. And I promise you, you're definitely going to see some solid improvements. So my guess is you are using TJ Busky. This is your cousin, even though it seems like you guys, I don't know. Let's just go ahead and skip to the start of the fight here. So we're going to watch it. We're going to watch the whole entire video. And in the comments section, maybe you guys can tell me if you're noticing the mistakes that he's making before I even talk about it. So here we go. Your cousin flips you off before the fight even starts. He starts things off with a leg kick. Jab straight. Throws a crane kick to your face.
All right, early round 1 here, big reach advantage, DC. We'll see if he can employ that patented jab.
Yes, he has to maintain distance. He's a taller guy, so every time
go.
his opponent tries to enter, he's going to have to take something
So yeah,
on the way inside.
right away,
Big,
I'm pretty sure the players, the more experienced players, they can already tell some of the mistakes that you're making or the things that you're not doing that you should be doing.
Those hands never leave where they're supposed to be, and if you do that, most times you will block the shot that's incoming.
All right. He threw a roundhouse from a mile away, but that actually lands, which is good. Another crane kick. He sidesteps out the way.
Oh, straight right. Throwing haymakers out of the exchange. Oh!
Jab straight.
Combinations here. Now goes in and secures
Takes you
the
down right
takedown.
there. And we're definitely going to have you change your grappling settings, because right now your grappling settings are the default settings that the game comes with, and that is definitely not the grappling settings that you want moving forward. You want to change it to legacy. Later on, I will tell you exactly how to do that. And every single one of you that is watching right now, I need you all to go and do that as well. If you just got the game and you haven't changed it from assist to legacy, I need you to go do that right now. Because if you're, as you guys sat down right there, if your grappling settings, it knocks you down again, your cousin taunting the shit out of you, man. That's not nice. That is not nice. Rocks you. You notice, anytime he goes, if he throws a type of strike, he typically doubles up on it. So if he goes for a straight shot, like a jab, he follows up with a straight shot, so a jab straight. If he goes for a hook, like if he throws a left hook, he typically follows up with a right hook, so hook, hook. That is what you're going to notice as you fight this man.
15 seconds remain in the round. Good series of punches by him there. He has been busy throughout.
He's doing a great job with the hands. He looks like a professional boxer
All right,
out there.
so he definitely won the first round. He was able to rock you twice, sat you down twice, I believe. He landed the harder shots, the more accurate shots. There's a reason for that, and we are going to talk about it. We will talk about it once the fight is over, buddy. Let's get it.
Second round here.
He starts off with his favorite combo, the jab straight. And then the crane kick. You'll notice that is one of his favorite ways of entering the pocket. He either goes for the jab straight, or once he backs up, he can always, his tell for the crane kick is he throws, he backs up, then the crane kick. There it is. He throws, he backs up a little bit, then the crane kick is coming. Very predictable. The cousin is extremely predictable, and you would have been able to knock him out in a minute if you would have done just a few things. So we'll talk about it in just a sec. There you go. So the fight is over right here. Let's go back. Let's go back and let's talk about the mistakes that you were making. First of all, before we even do that, I need you to go into your game, load up the game, go to settings, go to gameplay, so that you can make these changes. Go to gameplay, and once you get to gameplay, scroll down until you get to where it says grapple assist. Now, grapple assist, yours is going to say assist. I need you to change that to legacy. Change that to legacy so that you can have the same grappling setup as UFC 3. You said you had some experience with UFC 3. So my guess is that is the grappling setup that you are used to. You're not used to this new assist one. And it is definitely a major handicap if you're trying to play online with assists, meanwhile everyone else is playing on legacy. So switch that to legacy. Thank me later. Now, first mistake that you are making, man, is that you are not moving your head at all. Not even a little bit. Once the fight starts, the first thing I need you to do, especially being a newer player, is I need you to just take a moment and try to see what your opponent is doing. Just take a sec. If you are more experienced in the game, you can kind of hit the ground running because you know that you can make adjustments on the fly. You don't have to read your opponent first. You can kind of just go try to impose your game on them. And then as they start moving, then you can figure out what they're doing. But as a newer player, it's always good for like the first 30 seconds or so. Just move around and turn yourself into like a computer. Try to gather information. Try to see what they're doing. And if you were paying attention, you would notice that this man is throwing a lot of jab straights. 1-2, 1-2, over and over and over again. Now, when you key in on that, what do? Well, you ask yourself, what do I do to deal with that 1-2? Everything is a problem. He has presented a problem for me. What tools do I have to deal with that problem? Well, you have a few tools. You could slip and you can throw a straight. You could slip and you can throw an uppercut. You could slip and you could throw a hook. if you time it properly. And you can duck. You can duck underneath the cross, and you can actually counter with a straight of your own. Now, I would suggest that you try to slip or duck and counter on the second strike. The reason I want you to do it on the second strike is because the first strike is going to confirm what the second one is going to be after you've already read your opponent's pattern. So if you notice that their pattern is jab straight, when they lead with a jab, that already tells you what the next strike is going to be. At least it gives you a very good guess what the next strike is going to be, because the past 500 combos he has thrown has been the jab straight. So what you do is, now you notice he's throwing a jab. Immediately, you see, as soon as you see that jab, then you input your slip and you input your straight. You don't wait for the cross after the jab to come in. You don't try to read. I need you to understand that in UFC 4, you cannot react to strikes. You can't see a strike coming unless it's a big strike, like an overhand. Those you can react to. Or a roundhouse to the head. Those you can react to. There are a few strikes in the game that you can react to. But a jab, for example, you cannot reactively slip a jab, no matter how fast your reaction time is. You cannot reactively slip a cross. Hooks, you can't even do that. So you need to anticipate. You need to know they're coming. And the way you do that, like I said, is by making reads. So the moment you see him throw the jab, at you, right away you slip this way. Slip to your left and throw your cross. Your cross is your right hand. So you input your slip by flicking down on your right stick and then pressing Y to throw a cross. That is going to counter him. Now here's the second step, and I'm only going to give you one major tip in this video. I'm not gonna overload you with tips. I want you to go try to implement just this one tip. Try to do it, and you're going to see a major improvement in your fight. Second tip I'm gonna give you, which ties together with the slip straight, is when you start inputting your slip straight and you start countering him, what he's most likely going to do is what? He's going to notice that you're now slipping, and he's going to switch from a jab straight to a jab hook. And so you need to try to train yourself as you're playing the game. And this is what separates good players from players that are not good, is not only are they able to make reads and anticipate what their opponent is going to throw, but they also anticipate what the opponent is going to do in reaction to what they are doing. So if I'm fighting this guy and I notice him throwing a jab straight at me, right away I'm going to counter him with a slip straight automatically. It's going to happen. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm going to counter him with a slip straight. As soon as I counter him with a slip straight, especially if I do it like once or twice, I'm immediately going to tell myself, okay, so now he's seen me counter him with a slip straight. The next thing he's going to try to do is throw a jab hook at me. And so what am I going to do? The next time he throws a jab, I'm going to just automatically assume the next strike that's coming is going to be a hook. I'm going to duck. As opposed to slipping, I'm going to duck down. And I'm going to duck because I know that ducking down evades the straight, and ducking down also evades the cross. So when I duck, whether it's a straight that he's throwing at me or whether it's a hook, I'm going to be fine. So that is two things you need to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to moving your head, it's very important that you know this about UFC 4. In UFC 4, you have, I believe it's three. You have three different types of head movement that you're going to use in the game. One of them is your minor sways. Second is the major sways. And the third is your blocking sways. Now, the minor sway is designed to allow you to counter faster. And you minor sway by feathering your right stick when you flick it. So you don't push it all the way down. You just feather it a little bit. You feather it halfway. You flick halfway. That's going to perform a fast slip, a fast head movement. But the downside to that fast head movement is that strikes, it doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room. It doesn't give you a lot of room to move your head. So the evasive properties don't kick in like it does on the major sways. So the strikes can still hit you. You need to hit that faster. But because of the risk that the strike can still hit you, it's going to allow you to counter a lot quicker when you minor sway. Second option is going to be the major sway. The major sway covers more distance. Like, it gives you more of a wiggle room. It allows strikes to whiff a lot easier. And you do that by, of course, flicking your right stick all the way as opposed to feathering it. And then the safest way that you can move your head in the game is, of course, by holding block as you move your head. That's going to offer you the most protection. Now, what I would suggest for you is forget about the minor sway. Don't use it. Use the major sway and use your blocking head movement. So hold block while you move your head. As you move your head while holding block, you're not going to be able to counter. So just keep that in mind. But that's going to offer you a lot of defense, especially when your opponent is teeing off on you and you're not quite confident about trying to counter them. Hold block, move your head. Keep your head up the center line while holding block, so that if you do lean into a strike, at least you're blocking, and it's not going to do as much damage as it would have done if you would have leaned into it without holding high block. So just keep that in mind. That is all I want you to work on. I'm not going to talk about anything else that you're doing wrong for now. For this video, I need you to just move your head. Because if you notice in this fight, I think you probably moved your head maybe one time. And the other times you were dependent on your block. And the block in UFC 4 is not reliable at all. Well, it is reliable, but my point is it's way weaker than the block in UFC 3. It will get shredded. In your message, you were talking about, you felt that you were blocking and you were blocking and you were blocking, but these shots will bleed through. They absolutely will bleed through. That's how the block was designed. The block was not designed for you to depend on it all day long in UFC 4, and for good reason. The game wants you to do other things besides holding block. So do not become too dependent on your block. Move your head. And what I want you to do is just take in that one tip, moving your head, slip straight, slip counters. Go fight your cousin again. Tell him you want to fight him again. Have him fight you exactly the same way, and then shock him. Shock him to his knees when you start slipping and turning yourself into Floyd Mayweather. He's going to be like, what the hell? I'm not able to hit this man with my typical jab straight, jab straight, jab straight, ad infinitum. He's countering me now. And then keep in mind, he's going to start going, okay, since he's slipping, I'm going to start throwing hooks at him. Then you hit him with the duck straight. You're going to be like, yo, what happened? This is not the same cousin I used to whoop, man. Something's changed. What changed is you started moving your head. And if you do that, I promise you, man, you're going to see a major, major improvement in your game. And right here is where you get slept. Right here is where you get slept. So we are going to end the video right here. Like I said, go right ahead, fight your cousin again. Send me the updated version. Send me another fight that you had with your cousin where you use your head movement, or at least go into an online fight and show me that you're implementing head movement, and you're going to see major improvements. And then you and I are going to hop on, probably going to hop on a call with you or something, and I can show you a few things. But yeah, that is it. Hope you learned something from this, my man. Thank you so much for the message. I really appreciate how you worded that. I appreciate the way you came to me with that. It means a lot. I appreciate you watching the content. I appreciate all of you guys. But we're going to end it right here. Thanks for watching, folks. I will talk to you guys in a bit. Have a great morning. Peace out.